Let me ask you this. There have been certain concerns that have been raised by the United Nations Special Rapporteur in the recent past. And the Defense Secretary has also indicated certain allegations. He's also hinted at allegations. He's even gone on to make pinpointed accusations against you. He's talked about human rights violations. He's talked about, excesses during the war.
He has said, I saw a report, United States report. I don't remember as a official report. I don't remember which department. In that he has said, he admits the Sri Lankan government had abuses during the war. The government did not fight the war, military who fought the war. So in other words, he is saying the military had abuses. So he had let the military down. But as far as I am concerned, I had very close supervision over the conduct of military, whether we were respecting the international laws and rules and regulations, whether they were doing the right thing, they were looking after the interest of the people, the safety of the people who are affected. I was ensuring that everything was going smoothly. I did not leave single room for any irregular incidents or violations. But he had said this. So he has created that impression. And the interview in USA when he went there, he was interviewed for 2 hours. He never told anybody in this country. When I went also, immigration department wanted to interview me. He was interrogated, I think. In that, they told me that they want to question me about the allegations against Secretary Defense. So most probably that interview they requested from me was based on what he had said during that interrogation.
And what do you think he said? What were you told?
He would have said, connecting me to some of those allegations, the war crimes or human rights violation. That is why they wanted to follow it up after having interviewed with me, which I refused.
How did you feel to hear that?
Yeah, when I heard, I was shocked. I felt disgusted because he never told anybody in this country that he was interrogated for 2 hours. And he went to USA 1 month before me. And otherwise, he would have decided how to face a situation like that. He would have been ready to face a situation. And that he failed in his duties. So otherwise also now...
so what you're saying is he accepted that the government had made human rights violations?
I have a copy of that report. Your official would have seen it by this time. That it said that the Secretary of Defense, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, admitted there were abuses from the part of the government during the war. So what are the abuses? Then he also tried to point the finger at me about attacks on journalists, intimidation on journalists. He says he knew about these things, he heard about these things when I was the army commander, but never questioned me, never took action, so he must step down from his seat. If he knew, if he heard these allegations at that time, what did he do as the Defense Secretary? Why didn't he question the army commander? Now I hear they are trying to get some weak police officers, some underworld thugs, and trying to frame up some stories, and trying to connect me to those things, which will not materialize. But it was not only the journalist in Colombo, so many others were intimidated and killed. Like Chief Minister's Secretary was killed. Then there was a lawyer at Valley Yamuna or somebody. His house was attacked. Well, he had problems with I think, Defense Secretary.
You're saying these forms of harassment, intimidation, even killings were conducted on the behalf and behest of the government, and especially the Defense Secretary?
No, I am not saying Defense Secretary did these things, but definitely a group, gang was doing these things. Even the killing of the leader, editor. There was a gang doing these things. And if the government failed, and why did they fail? To get hold of the people during that time. Why are they talking about those things only now? Trying to point the finger at me. In other words, he is pointing the finger at the army. I can't go around with a dagger or a pistol and start doing thuggery. If he says army commander this thing, then mostly he says, okay, he got the army to do these things. So he is letting down the army. They are saying the army has done this. That means the army officers and the soldiers are involved in these things. So he has to give explanation for that. But definitely the government has failed. If the government did not have any underhand involvement in this, on these attacks, Why didn't they conduct the proper inquiries? Why couldn't they catch the culprits?
Why do you think that was the case?
Yeah, most probably these thugs would have been sponsored by them. Otherwise, what else could have been the reason?
And on that note, we'll slip into a short break, but stay with us on Straight Talk with General Sarath Fonseka.